You saw someone's apartment and felt something shift inside you. Not happiness for them, not curiosity about their life. Something closer to discomfort. Maybe you checked their job title on LinkedIn and felt your chest tighten. Maybe a friend mentioned their salary and you smiled and said congratulations, and then spent the next hour doing math in your head. You already know this feeling. Everyone knows this feeling, and almost everyone is ashamed of it. We call it jealousy or envy or pettiness. We tell ourselves we should be better than this. But here's the thing. This feeling is not a character flaw. It is not weakness. It is not something wrong with you specifically. It is one of the oldest and most precisely engineered systems in the human brain, and it was never designed to make you feel good. It was designed to keep you alive. Let me show you what is actually happening. For most of human history, your entire world was about 150 people. Your tribe of about 150 people. Everyone you would ever meet, eat with, fight beside, or compete against. 150 people was the whole game. And inside that tribe, your position mattered enormously. Not in a vague, abstract way, in a completely concrete, survival-level way. High-ranking individuals in the tribe got first access to food. They got shelter when shelter was scarce. They got mates. They got protection during conflict. They got the benefit of the doubt when things went wrong. Low-ranking individuals got what was left, or nothing at all. So your brain evolved a system to track your position obsessively. Not occasionally. Not when you felt like it. Every single day. It scanned the people around you for signals. Who has more than I do? Who has less? Who is rising? Who is falling? Am I safe here, or am I slipping? This constant social calculation was not optional. It was survival infrastructure. The ancestors who did not track their rank lost resources to the ones who did. They lost mates, they lost status, they fell to the bottom. The ones who tracked obsessively, who felt the sting of every comparison, who noticed every status signal, they survived. They passed that system on. That system passed directly to you. This is why the comparison never stops. It is not because you are insecure. It is not because you are shallow. You are running hardware built for a world where your exact rank meant eating or not eating. Now here is where it gets interesting. The brain does not compare you to everyone equally. It does not care much about celebrities or billionaires or people in other countries. It compares you to your reference group, the people closest to your own position, your colleagues, your friends, your neighbors, the people whose lives you can actually see. This makes perfect evolutionary sense. In a tribe of 150, the person 2 ranks above you was a real threat. The person 1,000 ranks above you was irrelevant. You could not compete with them, and you both knew it. But the person just above you, with slightly more status and slightly more respect from the group, that person required your constant attention. Because that gap was closable, and closing it, or failing to close it, had real consequences. This is why you feel almost nothing when a billionaire buys another yacht, but you feel everything when your university friend gets promoted before you. Your brain does not register the billionaire as a threat. It registers your friend as one. Not because your friend is your enemy, because your ancient hardware cannot tell the difference between a tribal hierarchy and a LinkedIn feed. It sees someone close to you pulling ahead, and it fires every alarm it has. There is a name for this effect. Researchers call it relative deprivation. The feeling is not about what you have. It is about what you have relative to the people around you. People report feeling worse about their income when neighbors earn more, even when their own income increased. You got a raise and felt good for 3 days. Then you found out your colleague got a bigger one, and suddenly the raise felt like nothing. That is not ingratitude. That is the comparison engine recalibrating your position in real time. The raise moved you forward in absolute terms, but relative to your reference group, your position stayed the same or got worse. And to the ancient system running in your brain, relative position is the only number that matters. Now here's the part that should genuinely disturb you. This system was calibrated for a world of 150 people. You now live in a world of 8 billion, and you carry a device that delivers a curated highlight reel of thousands of people's best moments, every single day, every hour. The comparison engine was never designed to process this volume. It was built to scan a small, stable group of familiar faces. Instead, it is now scanning Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter, TikTok, and your group chat simultaneously. And it cannot turn off. It was never given an off switch. Because in the ancestral environment, turning off meant falling behind, so it runs continuously. On inputs it was never designed to handle. Against a reference group of thousands instead of 150. Against people who are not your actual competitors, but who your brain has filed under threat anyway. Every person you follow who seems to be doing better is registered as a signal. You are slipping. Someone is pulling ahead. Pay attention and do something about it. And you feel it, even when you know, consciously, that it is not real. Even when you know the photo is curated. Even when you know the LinkedIn achievement is inflated. Even when you know the person posting is probably as anxious as you are. The knowledge does not stop the feeling. Because the system does not run on knowledge, it runs on perception. It was built before language, before logic existed in the brain, before the part of the brain that knows better was even there. And it is faster than all of that. Think about what that actually means for your daily life. You open Instagram in the morning before you are even fully awake. In 30 seconds, you have seen a vacation, a promotion, a new house, and a gym body. Your brain has filed all four as rank signals. All four before you have had coffee. By the time you get to work, the comparison engine has already run hundreds of cycles, and you feel vaguely behind before the day has even started. This is not an accident. The platforms were designed to maximize the time you spend on them, and nothing keeps you scrolling like the low-level anxiety of feeling like you are missing something, like someone is pulling ahead, like you need to keep watching to know where you stand. The comparison engine is not a bug in how you use social media. It is the feature that the entire business model was built on. Your ancient status tracking system is the product. They sell your attention to advertisers, and your attention is easiest to capture when the comparison engine is running hot. This is also why the feeling is worse on some platforms than others. Instagram shows you the best version of people's lives. LinkedIn shows you the best version of people's careers. Both are designed to trigger the comparison engine at maximum intensity. Both deliver exactly the signal that keeps you coming back. You are slipping. Look closer and stay a little longer. And you do. Because the system does not distinguish between a real threat and a curated one. It just sees the signal and responds. Every single time, without exception. Here is something worth sitting with. The wealthiest societies in human history also report the highest rates of anxiety about status. Not the poorest, the wealthiest societies do. Because wealth does not satisfy the comparison engine. It just raises the reference group. When everyone around you has more, the system fires harder, not less. A person in a village with one cow does not feel poor if everyone in the village has one cow. Put that same person in a city where some have 10 cows and others have none. The feeling hits immediately. Nothing about their actual situation changed. The comparison engine changed its inputs, and the output is anxiety. This is not a flaw in the system. This is the system working exactly as designed. It is reading your social environment and telling you where you stand. The problem is that the social environment it is reading now is infinite. And in an infinite environment, there is always someone ahead of you. There is always someone further ahead. Which means the signal never stops firing. Which means the anxiety never fully resolves. Which means you keep scrolling. Looking for information about where you stand. Finding more evidence that others are ahead. Feeling worse and scrolling more. The loop was never designed to end. It was designed to keep you vigilant. In a tribe of 150 people, vigilance eventually paid off. You gathered enough information, you made your move, you adjusted your position, and the signal quieted. In a world of 8 billion curated highlights, the signal never quiets, because the game has no end state. There is no position secure enough. There is no achievement that closes the gap permanently. There is always another person to notice, another signal to process, another alarm to fire. So what do you do with this? You cannot turn the system off. No one can. But you can understand what it is. And understanding it changes something. When you feel that tightening in your chest after seeing someone's promotion, you can name it. That is my tribal rank detector firing. It thinks my colleague is a threat to my position in a tribe that no longer exists. It is doing its job. It is just doing that job in a world it was not built for. You can notice the comparison without becoming it. You can feel the signal without obeying it. The feeling is real. The threat it is pointing at is not. Your colleague getting promoted does not reduce your food supply. It does not take your shelter. It does not lower your actual standing in any group that has real power over your survival. It just moved a number on a screen that your ancient brain has decided is a rank signal. And once you see that clearly, the signal loses some of its grip. Not all of it. It will still fire. But there is a difference between a system running on you and a system you are watching run. The people who seem least consumed by comparison are not the ones without the system. Everyone has the system. They are the ones who learn to watch it from a slight distance. To notice it activating without treating every activation as an emergency. To let the alarm ring without immediately picking up the phone. Your reference group is not your competition. It is just the input your brain defaults to because it was the only input available for 2 million years. You get to choose different inputs now. Not by suppressing the comparison, which does not work, but by deliberately expanding what you compare yourself to. Your progress last month versus this month. The version of you that existed 5 years ago. The things you have that your ancestors, with all their social vigilance, could never have imagined having. The comparison engine will still run, but you can point it in a direction that actually tells you something useful, because that is what it was always trying to do. It was never trying to make you miserable. It was trying to help you survive. It just needs better data than Instagram can provide. Give it better data and watch what happens.